Let us not dawdle, for there are grudges to settle, and new entries in the Dammer's Cron to write.
Howdy howdy, Sue Devil here, and welcome to another online ladder battle. We have a new build with the Dowie versus the Vampire Coast. So I have been going with a build that was very Bugman's Rangers heavy and had the Rune Lord. This time I have selected Belegar Ironhammer stripped down. He does have a silver shield, he has a ton of stats, and he's a very good lord. My front line, instead of Longbeards, I just have Dwarf Warriors. They're very simple, very cheap, and they'll get through the chaff. I have a ton of Slayers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of Slayers in this build, just for all the Mornghols, the big stuff to get around. And in the back line, I do have 5 groups of just regular Rangers looking for that Queen Bess, which is not there. So early on, he has, let's see, he has the Morghoul Haunter and these Morghols. And here is the advantage of the Slayers. I'm easily going to be able to sort of close in and get one of these 2 units, if not both. There's not much he can do about it, just because the Slayers are fairly quick, and even though I don't have anything that's going to slow him down, I can get to him. Now here he basically gives up the Morghols and takes the Morghoul Haunter and gets the heck out of Dodge. He also has 2 bloated corpses. So I saw these guys, I'm like, oh my god, I got to get there to send my Dwarf Warriors to fight them. And so I'm sending these Dwarf Warriors out here to get after this bloated corpse, and I just don't want him to hit my Slayers. So my Slayers are faster. I think this bloated corpse is 38, Slayers are 40. So I want to get my Slayers out and just make sure that they're not hitting. For his main line, he just has zombie pirate deckhand mobs all the way through. And he does have a group of these Shade Wraith Gunners, the deck gunners. They have very good range. They have like 245 range. They have magic shots, and they deal, they make your units have less leadership. He also has 3 depth guard, so very strong, I think, in general. And he has a Vampire Fleet Admiral with a pistol. And this Vampire Fleet Admiral has the Black Parapt, which is really good for magic. It has All Hands Hoy, weapon damage and leadership, Harnswoggle to slow things down and reduce armor, Wind of Death, an Invocation of Nehek, of course, and Drown Dead for the zombie summons, and of course the Hunger and the Curse of Undeath, etc., etc. So we're just gonna get in. We're just gonna get into this fight right away. I've already. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm trying to keep an eye on these guys. Oh, I've lost one. So these Dwarf Warriors got this guy, and this bloated corpse is going after these Slayers. I think I'm going to try and send something after him. So now I've already got these Dwarf Warriors. Sorry, these Dwarf Warriors I want to send after, and I want to replace them with Slayers. But I gotta watch. I just do not want this bloated corpse to get into my Slayers. And the mainline engagements have started. You know, I've got everything sorted out on this side. Now I can sort of come around back, and these guys can finally, they took forever, they can get in here. And here's these depth guard. I just want to make sure I want to chase them, lead them away, and shoot them. And, oh, huge bang. The Dwarf Warriors, I missed it. Sorry, but he killed a lot of Dwarf Warriors, and he's up against the zombie pirate. So now I've got these Dwarf Warriors are getting beat up by this Morghoul Haunter. He will easily take a group of Dwarf Warriors. You got to be really careful. I missed that completely. Basically, now I've got my Slayers into these depth guard and my Dwarf Warriors into the depth guard. I'm going to try and take the Slayers out and take these guys in. I just want to occupy the depth guard, and here we go. So I'm going to take the Dragonback Slayers, and I think I'm going to finish off these zombie pirate deckhands and then head out to this Morghoul Haunter. I'm going to head straight out there. I've got Belegar Ironhammer in the line. He has nothing to fear from zombie pirate deckhands. I can just basically, at will, just collapse these guys. And I've got in here, I've got these Slayers coming in. Now, fighting against depth guard is not the best. But basically, yeah, here, I just want to kite them away. They only have 36 speed. I have 40. I want to kite them away and shoot them. So that's what I want to do with these depth guard. I'm collapsing on the Shade Wraith Gunners and absolutely demolishing them. I should be able to start getting shots in now with these Rangers onto the depth guard. Come on, boys, shoot. I don't have them pointed at them or what? Anyways, yeah, here we go. So we get some shots. Now, these guys don't have shields. They have good armor, but they're going to take a lot of damage. You can see 1 volley from 3. They took quite a bit of damage, so I'm just going to try and kite them away. These depth guard are pushing out here, and now I've got these guys at a good spot for shooting, and I've got these Dragonback Slayers chasing this Morgul right here. This is not going to go well for the Morgul. He has gotten rid of some Dwarf Warriors, so he has gotten some value, but this is it. This is over. The Morgul Haunter is now going to be crushed. Now, he actually can get away. He has 35 speed. The Dragonback Slayers have 26, because they slow him, but he slows them. So he could get away if he really wanted to, but you can see his health is tanking extremely fast. He's just not going to make it from here. These Dragonback Slayers are easily going to finish him off, and God, that looks so good. Like, like great artwork. I love it. That thing is really big. Like, you know. Anyways, he's getting absolutely wiped out by the Dragonback Slayers. No problem. And this is why I wanted to have a build with a bunch of Slayers, and he wastes them, and now, yeah, they can raise their axes and head back into the fight. Zombie Pirate Deckhand. So these Depth Guard, again, I'm just going to try and kite one this way and one this way and get some shots, and I'm going to try and chase down this chaff. And I've got Belagar now. I think I have him, or I had him up here going after this Vampire Fleet Admiral. In the front line, we still have more Depth Guard. I do have taken my Dwarf Warriors, and these guys, this is not a miss micro. I've just set them here because what I want them to do is just get fully healthy so they're active and have maximum leadership they can. I don't need to get them involved, so I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna take these Rangers, and I'm just gonna try and again find a good spot for them to post up and get after these, trying to get after the Depth Guard. Where are they? Right over here. And I'll send my Slayers against the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs because that's just fine. So where are these guys going? Okay, so these guys now, I've decided to send them in over here. I'm going to send these guys in. And I've got Dwarf Warriors fighting the Depth Guard. And I do believe now I'm going to send in, yeah, I'm going to send in Belagar to fight against the Vampire Fleet Admiral. You know, I basically kited these guys all around just to try and get shots for free. He's got an Invocation and a Heck going, Zombie Pirate. I'm just trying to, like, I've got no reason to stop. I want the Slayers to get them and these guys to go. So now their leadership is dropping. I believe I have Belagar here. I'm trying to get Belagar to fight this Vampire Fleet Admiral because I want to get, yeah, these zombies on him, and I want to get Belagar into this fight. And the reason I picked Belagar is just he is very inexpensive. He has a silver shield and he just does good damage. And this Vampire Fleet Admiral has what, 30 armor? No, 70 armor. So Belagar is going to do a ton of damage to that, and really everything here is starting to resolve. I've got the Zombie Pirate Deckhands here, and I've got this last group of Zombie Pirate Deckhands. I've, you know, basically got the army almost completely surrounded. I put up my Dragonback Slayers up against these Depth Guard just to slow them down and just so I can get shots in with my Rangers, because they won't break, they won't let them pass, and that's a good way just to get shots. And now everything's starting to crumble. And the including the Vampire Fleet Admiral, I'll get a few shots, and you know, he'll put some hits on Belagar too. Belagar has good stats, so 60-55, he has 65-45. So, you know, Belagar has 5 more stat points than the Vampire Fleet Admiral, but has good armor and a silver shield, so he's very good in that position. Depth Guard here have come back to fight, but now really it's just bring in everything, collapse, and finish this off, because there's not really much left to do. Now he's got all hands hoy for the weapon damage and leadership, but really now I can just start taking shots with my Quarrelers and my Rangers on that Vampire Fleet Admiral who does not have a shield. Yeah, that's why I put them back, because I just want to take free shots here, just for something to do to finish off that Admiral. There we go, and you can see just very little armor, no shield, and we're gonna finish it off, and we'll just let Belagar have some fun. We'll let him have his fun beating up the Depth Guard. Now he's, you know, pretty low health, but you know, still fighting, and that's because he does have very good stats all around. And you can see the army has come out in very good shape. If I take an overarching look, I mean, I really haven't lost a whole lot of units, so that's the end of the battle. And you know, I think a really interesting build. I love the idea of the bloated corpses. They didn't work out great, but they worked out okay in this build because I didn't have my Rangers back supporting me. I had them actually in the back corner trying to go on a stealth mission to get Queen Bess. Otherwise, I would have been able to nail those bloated corpses, so they got a little bit of value. Did catch those Morghuls really right off the get, but this Morghul Haunter was able to get some work done. And, you know, the Zombie Pirates 15, 21, 8, 35, 13, and 21. Decent enough. They were fighting a lot of Dwarf Warriors or Dwarf Warriors, and these depth guard, 150, 112, 51, they are very, very good against Slayers, obviously, and Dwarf Warriors. So they're the kind of the hardest counter to this build because I have no armor piercing in this build at all. And, that's because that's really one of the only armored... That's the only armored troop that can cause me any sort of problems is the depth guard. Like the other things that are armored, like the rotting Prometheans, they are large. So my Slayers, even though they don't have armor piercing, will mow them down, including some of the other big Leviathans and stuff like that. So for my build, this Dwarf Warrior's got 0, 42. I think these ones that got 0 got beat up by that Mongol Haunter. 42, 136, 34, and 0. And... one of these other ones might have got hit by the bloated corpse. I don't know. But really, they're good against the chaff. They're fine. They're everything. They're as much as you need. Belagar got 44. He did his job. He survived to the end. My Slayers, 87, 89, 143, 63, 31, 68, and 40. And they demolished the Mongols and the Mongol Haunter. And, held up the depth guard so my Rangers could go to work and, got in a little bit of work against the Vampire Fleet Admiral, but not much. We're able to take out the Shade Wraith Gunners and, they're fast, they're mobile, and they don't break. And even though it took me a while to get my Rangers into the battle, they got 22, 10, 7, 8, and 14. I don't know if it would have been probably... See, I'm so worried about Queen Bess. Because Queen Bess is so devastating in this matchup. I wanted to put my Rangers in the back, but maybe I can put them back to the front and not worry about a stealth mission, or just use one Ranger in the back. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, good fun fight. I love the bloated corpses. Way to go, Private Blaster. Bringing the bloated corpses, awesome. And they didn't do too bad because I really couldn't gun them down. I didn't have any counters because my Rangers were in the back, so I thought they were fun. And strong depth guard down the middle. Shade Wraith Gunners really for the leadership in the long range. And, I think the normal Gunners probably would have been a bit better of a choice. But... these Shade Wraith Gunners could have really done a number on these Rangers because Rangers don't have a lot of armor. So maybe that's what he was thinking going up against Rangers. So just a good all-around build. I don't really find have any issues with the build. And fun and interesting and fairly strong. And I think really, as I've said before, the Dowie have a massive advantage in this matchup. So there's a lot of builds that'll work. I just thought I'd bring this build. It's a fun build, lots of Slayers, Dwarf Warriors, Belagar, Ironhammer, no Rune Smiths, no Rune Lords, and then just a bunch of Rangers instead of Bugman's Rangers. So a very different idea for an army, and, it was fun. So anyways, hope you found that interesting, and I will see you soon.